I was in the middle of hosting a birthday party for my 6-year-old when my wife's phone lit up on the kitchen counter. A message from Homeboy read, "Last night was magic. Can't wait to taste you again." I froze, looked up, and saw her laughing with guests like nothing was wrong. I took a screenshot, airdropped it to every guest with an iPhone, and said over the speaker, "Let's open gifts." Starting with this one. She didn't say a word, just ran upstairs. The party still ended with cake. Just not for her. I never thought my life would split in two in the middle of a 6-year-old's birthday party. We live in a suburb outside Fort Worth, Texas. It's the kind of neighborhood where everyone waves at each other, grills on the weekends, and pretends everything's perfect. I'm 37. My name's Dave. I work as a warehouse manager for a regional supply chain company. It's a steady job. Pays enough to keep us comfortable, but I still clip coupons. Claire, my wife, or I guess soon-to-be ex-wife, she's a paralegal for some mid-sized law firm downtown. She always came off polished. Charming. The kind of person people listen to at dinner parties. We've been married almost 8 years. Our son Mikey just turned 6. He's the best part of my life. Quiet kid. Big eyes, tiny voice, obsessed with dinosaurs. He's the kind of kid who says, "Thank you," when you hand him a cup of juice. That Saturday, I wanted everything to be perfect. We had a T-Rex piñata hanging from the tree in the backyard. Plates and cups with cartoon fossils. Streamers, bounce house, party favors with little figurines. We invited a mix of people, some family, a few of Mikey's school friends, their parents, Claire's co-workers, my brother Rob and his wife. I'd spent the whole morning setting up while Claire got dressed and made food trays. I'd been running around, grilling hot dogs, icing drinks, refilling chips. She walked around the party like she was queen of the castle, smiling, hugging people, laughing too loud at things that weren't funny. She was wearing this sundress I bought her for our anniversary. I used to love the way she looked in it. At one point, I went inside to grab more paper plates. I walked past the kitchen counter and saw her phone buzzing. Just lying there, screen lit up. I wasn't looking for anything, but I couldn't miss the message. "Homeboy, last night was magic. Can't wait to taste you again." I didn't react at first. It felt like someone else was reading it. Then I felt like the floor dropped out under me. That burning, dizzy feeling hit me all at once. I picked up her phone. No password. Her messages were wide open. I scrolled. There were dozens. Days worth. Weeks. Photos. Her in lingerie. Him with his shirt off. Videos. One of them laughing together in a car. Our car. He sent audio messages telling her what he wanted to do to her next time. She wrote him paragraphs saying she dreamed about his hands. She called him her escape. My hands started shaking. My heart pounded in my ears. But I stayed quiet. I don't know how, but I did. I took screenshots. Message after message. I even took one of the preview screen, just so nobody could say I doctored anything. Then I opened Airdrop. I selected every iPhone that popped up. Must have been 15 of them. Probably more. I hit send to all. It took maybe 30 seconds. Then I walked outside, holding the microphone we were using for games and announcements. Everyone was in the backyard. Parents chatting. Kids running around. Claire was sitting near the gift table with a glass of lemonade, smiling like she didn't just blow up our life the night before. I tapped the mic. "All right, folks," I said. "Let's open gifts. Starting with this one." She looked up at me, confused. Then the phone started going off. Ding, ding, ding. Some people checked. Others started whispering. A couple gasped. One woman actually said, "Oh my God." Another muttered, "Jesus." Claire looked around. She was still smiling for a second. Then she saw the faces. Her eyes darted from one person to another. Then she grabbed her phone off the patio table. She opened it, saw what I'd sent. That's when she knew. She didn't say a word, didn't scream, didn't try to deny anything. She just stood up and walked inside. Fast, not quite running, but close. I turned to the crowd and said, "If you're here for Mikey, stay. If you're here for her, you can go." Nobody left. My brother walked over, put a hand on my back. "Let's light that candle, man." So we did. Mikey didn't know. He still had his cake. He smiled while we sang. I kept it together. I didn't want him to ever connect his birthday with the worst moment of my life. But I'll never forget the look on Claire's face before she disappeared upstairs. I waited till the party ended to go up there. That's when everything really started unraveling. I didn't go upstairs right away. After everyone left, I stayed out back, collecting trash and folding chairs. I needed time to breathe, time to decide if I was going to scream or cry or both. But nothing came out. Just this hollow feeling, like someone had scraped out my insides with a spoon. It was quiet now. Mikey was inside watching cartoons. I could hear the soft mumble of the TV through the screen door. He was still full of cake and smiling, completely unaware. I finally went upstairs after sunset. Claire's bedroom door was shut. I stood there for a second, wondering if I should even bother. I knocked once. No answer. I opened the door. She was sitting on the edge of the bed, still in that sundress. No makeup now. Her eyes were red. Her hair was a mess. She looked up at me like she was waiting for a bullet. "What do you want me to say?" she asked. I just stared at her. "Nothing," I said. "I saw everything." She nodded. "It didn't mean anything. Don't lie to me." She swallowed hard. "It started a few months ago, after Mikey's birthday last year. I don't even know why. I just felt empty. He made me feel something again." I laughed. Not because it was funny, because it was the most pathetic excuse I'd ever heard. "I'm standing here," I said, "doing everything for this family. For you. And you're out there getting filled up by some guy who calls himself Homeboy?" She flinched. Then she did the thing cheaters always do, turn it on me. "You weren't there either, Dave. You haven't touched me in months. You're always working, always tired. You come home, eat, fall asleep on the couch. What about me?" I took a deep breath. "So instead of talking to me, you screwed some guy and sent him nudes from our bed?" She didn't answer. I left the room. That night, I slept on the couch. The next few days were hell. She moved into the guest room. We barely spoke. Mikey noticed something was off. He asked if Mommy was sick. I told him no, but I didn't lie. I told him Mommy and Daddy were having a hard time and needed space. He nodded and asked if he could still watch Dino Ranch after dinner. That kid's heart is too good for this world. Then came the fallout. The airdrop. It didn't just hit party guests. Turns out one of Claire's coworkers sent the screenshots to someone at her firm. By Tuesday, HR had called her in. They didn't fire her, but they strongly encouraged her to take some time off. That's code for, "We can't trust you not to embarrass the firm further." She came home crying. I didn't say a word, just kept eating my dinner. Then she did something I didn't expect. She texted Homeboy and told him it was over. She didn't know I was watching from her laptop, which was still signed into her iMessages. He blew up. "You're just using me. You said you loved me. This is about your husband, huh?" Man finally grew a pair. "Hope the house burns down with both of you in it." I screenshotted that too. Then I did something she never saw coming. I contacted his girlfriend. I didn't know much about Homeboy at first. I didn't even know his real name. But Claire wasn't careful. In one of their messages, he mentioned, "Don't forget Friday at your place. Amy won't be home till Sunday." That was enough. I dug deeper. His name was Darren. He was a physical therapist. The kind of guy who posts gym mirror selfies with captions like "beast mode only." I found his Instagram, then his LinkedIn. Through there, I found Amy. She was his live-in girlfriend. Looked like they'd been together for a few years. She had a business page for custom baby clothes. Lots of soft pink colors and flower designs. A few pictures of her and Darren smiling, arms wrapped around each other. I debated whether I should reach out. Then I remembered Claire on the patio that day. Laughing, drinking lemonade, like she wasn't destroying our family one message at a time. So I sent Amy the screenshots. I didn't just forward them. I explained who I was. Told her everything. I apologized for how she had to find out. Said I knew how much it hurt, because I was in the same place. She didn't respond for 2 days. Then she called me. I didn't expect a call. I figured I'd get a blocked message or maybe nothing at all. But there she was, crying, angry, broken in the same way I was. "How long?" she asked. "Months," I said. She told me they'd been planning to buy a house this summer. They'd even gone to a few open houses. He told her he wanted to propose before Christmas. Now he was sleeping with my wife. We talked for over an hour. It felt strange, comforting, and awful at the same time. Two strangers, both stabbed by the same knife. Then she said something I didn't expect. "I'm not just letting this go. If he wants war, I'll give him war." A week later, I heard from Claire that Darren's girlfriend had keyed his car, posted his messages on her business page, tagged his gym and workplace in a story. People called him a predator. One of his clients pulled their daughter from his practice. Another left a review calling him a married woman chaser. He called Claire in a panic. She told him to lose her number. Then she turned on me. You sent her those screenshots? She asked one night while Mikey was asleep. Yes. You made everything worse. You're ruining people's lives. I stared at her. You ruined lives. I just turned on the light. That was the moment something changed in her eyes. The guilt? Gone. Now it was rage. You're enjoying this, aren't you? No. But I'm done protecting people who lied to me. She walked out of the room and slammed the door. The divorce talk started the next day. And then, just when I thought it couldn't twist any further, Claire's mom called me. She asked to meet. Alone. Claire's mom, Sandra, always liked me. Even when Claire would get annoyed over something small, Sandra would take my side. She called me a good man more than once. That's why I agreed to meet her. I didn't expect to get yelled at, but I wasn't ready for what actually happened either. We met at a little diner off I-30. One of those places where the booths are cracked and the waitress calls you hon. Sandra ordered coffee. I didn't touch mine. She looked tired. Older. Like all this had aged her. I'm not here to defend Claire, she said. What she did, there's no excuse for it. I nodded. I didn't say anything. She was stupid, Sandra said. And selfish. But I know my daughter. When she panics, she goes blind. She can't fix what she ruins. But you're not like that. I stared at her. What do you want? I want you to think before you finish this war. I let out a short laugh. War's already finished. I'm just sorting through the bodies. She leaned in. She's not fighting for custody, you know. She knows she can't win. But she's scared you'll turn Mikey against her. I kept quiet. Sandra wiped her mouth. Her voice lowered. She says you've been calm. Too calm. And that scares her more than if you'd hit her. I'd never lay a hand on anyone, I said. But I'm not going to shield her either. Mikey will know what happened. One day, when he's old enough to ask. And I'll tell him the truth. Sandra nodded, slow and sad. I figured you would. Just don't poison him. That boy's all that's left. That part hit me. Because it was true. Mikey was all that mattered now. I ended the meeting and walked out. The divorce moved fast after that. Claire didn't fight me on the house. Didn't ask for spousal support. It was like she'd already given up. Her lawyer called mine and said she was choosing peace. But I knew the truth, she had nothing left to fight with. Then came the final mediation. We sat across from each other. Her hair was pulled back tight. She looked like she hadn't slept in weeks. When the mediator asked if either party wanted to make a statement, I surprised everyone. I pulled out an envelope, handed it to her. Inside were two things. A printed picture of Mikey holding his birthday cake, the one from after she ran upstairs. A copy of the screenshot I'd sent out, the first message from Homeboy. She looked at them. Her lip quivered. She looked up at me, tears building. Why? She asked. Why are you doing this? Because I want you to never forget what you gave up. She nodded slowly. Didn't say anything else. Afterward, as we left the office, she caught me by the elevator. I don't expect forgiveness, she said. Good, I told her. You won't get it. She looked down at her shoes. I hope Mikey doesn't hate me. I looked her in the eye. That depends on what kind of mother you decide to be from here. It's been 7 months now. Mikey's doing better than I expected. He sees Claire every other weekend. She moved into a tiny apartment. No sign of Homeboy. Word is he moved cities after losing most of his clients. Amy, the woman he cheated on, I still talk to her. We've gotten coffee a few times. Nothing romantic. Just two people who've been through the same storm. It helps. Sometimes I catch myself thinking about how close I came to missing the message. How one little buzz on a phone cracked everything wide open. And I think, thank God I saw it. I didn't just lose a wife. I lost an illusion. And in return, I got the truth. Ugly as it was, I needed it. Now, when Mikey and I sit on the couch watching Jurassic Park or building a Dino puzzle, I know something for sure. He still has a real parent. And Claire? She still has the picture. The one of the son she walked away from to chase a thrill. That's her gift. Forever.